Hey, since everyone else is doing the where were you the day everything changed? Let me ask you, Dwayne, where were you a year ago today?
Okay, so one, you know damn well where I was at because you were with me. And B, dude, we said we weren't going to talk about this ever again.
Oh yeah. That's probably the best.
Hi, Toddlers. Welcome to Talking to Todd, a weekly podcast with Dwayne Johnson and Todd Prince, where failure is always an option. This is take 2, and we're happy to be here. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how's it going? And can you hear me?
I can. Better the second time around.
There we go. All right. It's already an improvement.
Okay, so really, what were we doing a year ago?
So this violates what I believe to be a federal, if not natural law. Do you know what law, by talking about this, do you know what law we're violating?
Dumb stuff you did a year ago? I don't know.
No. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So I was in Vegas at the largest.
This is so good. This just starts off great.
The largest trade show in the Western Hemisphere.
What are trade shows?
I don't know.
Oh, that's where people from around the world all fly together and pack themselves into as small of indoor space as humanly possible for an entire week. That's where you were. Yes.
Yes.
And I was living in Las Vegas. So, yeah.
And so as a part of that trade show, I got Todd and I tickets to an evening session of the Pac-12 basketball championship.
And not just any tickets. I mean, they were nice, right?
Yeah, they were. Yes, we were. Yes, it was nice.
Let's put it this way. I've been in that building multiple times, and we were in a place I had never seen before. Even though I've been in that building, and I'm like, I didn't even know there was a lounge up there. So we were in a good spot.
So I'm at a trade show. We're in an arena. And as it turned out, this was the last college basketball game played in 2020. For the well, not in the year 2020, but for the 1920 season. Because during the game, on the screen flashed first an announcement that tomorrow's games will be played with essential personnel only.
And we thought that was big, but that was a developing situation, as we would say.
Mark the tape. Because about 20 minutes later, there was no more basketball.
Now, to be fair, I do remember a couple of things because, I mean, this was, there was already news about this thing going around or whatever. And so, it sounds ridiculous saying this, when we were eating from the buffet.
Yes. You're at a trade show. You're in an arena full of fans. You're gonna eat from a buffet? Sure, why not? Why not?
That's what you do. Hate to let the tickets go to waste. I do remember they did have some hands. They had a bottle of hand sanitizer, and everybody at the buffet was wearing gloves. Yeah. So I mean, it was.
They
fine.
served us.
Yes.
I mean, it was, you went through the line with your plate and they served you food.
Yeah.
Nobody was masked. There were no masks. No masks. But the people serving were wearing gloves.
Yeah.
There was hand
Now,
sanitizer everywhere, though. I mean, there
yes.
was anywhere you turned, you could find hand sanitizer. That was not a problem at that point.
Now, I will point out just a couple of things before we move on. So at one point, so while we were there, literally while we were there, people's phones were going off because like we're in an arena watching a basketball game, and then somebody goes, "Hey, they've postponed an NBA game. Hey, they've postponed all the NBA games. Hey." And then stuff literally every 5 or 6 minutes everything around sports was being canceled. And we're at an arena reading on our phones going, that's a charge. That's a charge. You missed it. Hey, they're canceling basketball games. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Hey, Dwayne, I'm going to go through the buffet again. Do you need anything? Because I'm gonna get some more wings. I can just get you a couple, right?
And I looked to the guy in the next booth. Do you want? Nope. He's gone because he went to go reschedule his flight so that he could go home.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that guy reading this and going, "Screw this! I'm headed home.
I am out of here."
What I find hilarious, well, the other two things though is number one, this was the opening rounds of the Pac-12 basketball game, and realistically, the rest of the arena was social distancing. They just didn't even know it because there was only like 100 fans in the entire arena. So the other piece I found hilarious was you took a picture, I want to say of you and me, or there was a picture of you and a picture of me, and you sent those pictures to Amy. And I remember, and by the way, this is before everything shut down. I believe you got a message back, something to the extent of, "Look at my idiot husband and his friend." And this wasn't even, this was just in general.
Yeah, that's on brand.
Yeah. Anyway, that was
The hell are you two idiots doing?
yeah, that's pretty much it, right? And of
Building
course,
content.
the funny thing is, yeah, you know what? A year from now, this is going to be gold. And of course, the fun part about that was then, and then, quote unquote, everything shut down. And then in the morning, you had to get up and go back to the trade show for 3 more days. I laugh now because you're fine. But at the time, well, good luck at the Las Vegas Convention Center, Dwayne. See ya. Oh, good times.
Sponsor this week. This week's show is brought to you by DJ to Go, your 5-star DJ for the Cedar Valley region. That joke's for Leroy.
Cool.
One of our listeners will get that. So feedback follow-up. Please send your feedback from last show or any show. Feedback at talkingtotodd.com or 515-257-6272. That spells 515 also CPA. Where do we want to start? Toddler number 1. This is feedback for you.
I'm surprised you don't have a huge sigh into the soundboards that just happens every time after you say it.
No, she wasn't sighing at me. Not this week.
Oh,
no, not this week.
Okay.
It's important that you know
Yes.
that the name of the new head football coach at the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana is Brett Bielema, not Bert Bielema.
Yeah, when I listened to that back, that didn't sound right. But it was close enough. So
because again, it was like a record screech. What the hell was that? And he's no longer in New England. He's now the head coach for the University of Illinois.
Here's the thing. I should know his name because I was in a restaurant with him while he was recording his coach's show one week. Now, did I want to be in a restaurant where a football coach is recording his weekly radio show and they have loudspeakers broadcasting it throughout? No, I did not. What was I asked if I wanted to? No, it just happened. So So Bert and Ernie is the new coach at Illinois. Okay. Got it.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see. Toddler number -18. Got to scroll down to the bottom here. We got both from Sarah Judson Brown, as well as from several other people, feedback on the Tender for Cows episode.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Great title. Very informative.
Yeah. Wasn't it though?
Right?
Yeah.
Not your funniest episode, but very entertaining and very educational.
Yeah. Apparently, if we get the right people on the show can be very entertaining and educational.
Absolutely. So thanks again to Preston for coming on the show last week. So that was great. That was super. If you have other suggestions of people you would like to have us interview, or if you would like to be a guest yourself, you know the number. Also, a touch of Disney. Their tagline's really ill-advised. It's a touch of Disney. It's not a touch from Disney, and that's a really important distinction that we need to make.
Yeah, the word "of" there is doing a lot of work in that sentence for them.
Yep. Oh, so okay. So then, lastly, from -18, we do have a follow-up question for Preston. Did he ever get the lost Fitbit back, or was it just lost? And we don't know the answer. So hopefully at some point somebody will tell us. Let's see. Greg, toddler number 17, had feedback on the no talking to Todd masks and the protesting of Todd. He suggested a new hashtag, free Todd, hashtag free Todd. Nobody puts Todd in a corner. Nobody puts toddler baby in a corner either.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then he sent me this, and this is kind of a Todd's Tech Corner kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's an old iMac with a cat in it. And not a cat on it, a cat in it.
It's like they've hollowed out one of the old neon iMacs to make a cat house.
So
I mean, maybe not. Sorry, no, like a house for their cat.
Whoa! That's something else. That's in a touch of Disney. That's not on this podcast. No, actually, they wouldn't have that either. You can't have the cats around the mice. That's fine. What's really hilarious about this? What's really funny about this iMac that they've taken the screen and the guts out and the cat's living in it is, for quite a long time, the original Mac shape that was the all-in-one that you could pick up by the handle, that was, the original Mac, the SE30, those kind of things. There are plans, and people did this, that you take those all apart and you fill it with plexiglass and you turn it into a Macquarium.
Yes.
So my thought is, you get an original Mac and you put the fish in it, then you get the round iMac that the cat lives in, who just sits there and is just pawing at the other
watches
Mac.
the fish.
Yeah, the whole time. And so now it's like your two Macs are just, they're being repurposed, right? You want to recycle, you want to reuse. So I was just looking at this picture going, okay, when people send me stuff like this, am I supposed to fix the Mac or fix the cat? Because I'm not sure which one of these is the problem here.
Let's see. Toddler number 3, Mark Felderman. Happy birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday tomorrow to Mark. Toddler number 3. Episode 53 started strong.
Was that his travelogue?
It was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
The rest of the
he liked that. Then how did he feel about the rest of the show?
It was okay. He did. You aren't going to believe this. America's Cup, according to Felderman, is more interesting than soccer.
Okay.
Now, I came prepared for this little note, because if you did not know this, there are other obscure but yet widely followed sports in the world.
I don't know that it can be obscure and widely followed, but sure. I mean, it's obscure to us. It's kind of like most people don't know this, but I'm pretty famous. Like that, like that's just what you just said. But anyway, go ahead.
Veteran Iditarod musher Ali Zirkle of Two Rivers, Alaska, scratched at the Roan checkpoint last night at 8:05 p.m. Zirkle was injured while coming into the Roan checkpoint. Iditarod Marshal Mark Nordman, based on information provided by a volunteer with medical training, notified the Alaska State Troopers. This was her 21st Iditarod run. It was her retirement race. She's okay, but she was injured and was not able to finish. The Iditarod is still going on, and I can give you further updates if you would like.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we ought to be updated on that thing. I will tell you that I was working in Alaska one year while the Iditarod was going on, and I was working at the newspaper. What I will tell you, while down here it may not get a lot of coverage, the Anchorage Daily News goes all in on Iditarod coverage, and it goes to the front page. When I came into work every morning, everybody was talking about, did you see that? And they were just they were referring to the mushers by either like literally, if I come in and I say, hey, did you see what Prime did? Oh my goodness, I can't believe what he did. And you'd be like, who the heck's Prime? They were referring to the mushers that way because that's the way that is in Alaska. So yeah.
If you were either worried or interested, Ali Zirkle had 14 dogs in harness when she arrived in Roan. Her race team is uninjured. They're being well cared for, and they will be flown home to Anchorage and then driven back home. So she's all right, and the dogs are all right. Just wanted to close that up. So if you have any other obscure and yet widely followed
sports. What? That's like the 7th tagline for this podcast: obscure and widely followed.
Oh, that's us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, just because I was going to bring this up anyway, well, I wasn't sure if I was going to bring it up, but since Mark brought it up, this means absolutely need to bring it up because he finds America's Cup more interesting than soccer. I know that he knows this, but everybody else should know this, that the finals of the America's Cup have started this week after a slight delay. So there were races. Well, it's in New Zealand, which I don't exactly understand how. Like somehow when they race on a Friday, it shows up on Peacock on Monday previous. I don't know. Anyway, there's races tonight. Actually, there's races. Oh, we got to wrap this thing up. I think there's a race in like 20 minutes, literally tonight. Races 3 and 4 are tonight, which is Friday morning. Anyway, America's Cup, catch it while you can. It's fantastic. Wait, that's something else, isn't it?
That's not. It's close. It's something.
Do I need the commissioner's express written consent to use "It's fantastic"? Anyway, all right.
I don't think so. I think that commissioner. You may need the express written consent of some commissioner, but not this one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good to know.
Fair? Sure. What do you got? Did you get any feedback?
Other than the fact that, again, this is the only feedback that from me as I'm listening to this. I too heard me stumble over the name of a football coach, and I thought, why is it so hard to simply speak? Like I talk throughout the week, and then we get in front of this microphone, and suddenly all my words go away. So I don't know why that happens, but anyway, that was the only feedback I had was, come on, Todd, use the words.
Lisa provided some follow up on the RuPaul cold open.
Oh, that's right. Yes, she just about did a spit take on it, hearing you talk about your squirrel friends. So that may go down as one of our best cold opens. Yeah.
Bye.
Do we have okay, so that was feedback. Do we have any follow-up for any of the outstanding issues or any of the outstanding topics that we've had?
Last week we talked about Amazon's mustache.
Yeah.
The comment that I got back from my coworker
Former coworker, right?
Yes, former coworker. No comment. and a winky face.
If I was everybody with Amazon, I wouldn't be sending any emojis at this point. I would just stay away from all icons, emojis, just in case something weird happens.
She should have used the Groucho Marx one with a mustache.
That may no longer be accessible on their computers.
I guess the big news this week, it's kind of, given where we are a year ago we were ready to do NCAA brackets, right?
No. Yeah, exactly.
So, but a year ago we didn't have a podcast.
That's true.
So, and now we have both a podcast and regular listeners. I am proposing that we have a Talking to Todd bracket challenge for the NCAA tournament.
Okay. All right.
So I will tell you what we'll do. I will post, we'll do it in CBS. The name of the group will be Talking to Todd. So it ought to be pretty easy to find. No G, no space. When I set it up, what's the name of the group? I wrote Talking to Todd. What's the tagline? And I was going to write failure is always an option because, you've seen my brackets. But instead, I went with they can't all be winners.
Which is absolutely true in the tournament and in brackets. Yes, good point.
So I did that after I got that kind of set up after work today. The password is winners, all lowercase. Unless you want to come up with a different password.
I don't know how you didn't go with toddlers, but
you're right. I did not go with toddlers, but I will now. Okay, so new password. Password is toddlers with a capital T. Toddlers with a capital T. Thank you. See, again, I did 98% of the work.
Todd swoops in. How about you use the word toddlers instead? And swoops out.
Boom, we're done.
And show.
So I will post a link to it on the Facebook page, or you can just go to the CBS bracket app and find our group and join. It'll be a public group. So we'll see how many of you all want to get in. So hopefully we get a bunch of you. So, and we'll provide regular follow-ups. Let's see, other sporting news this week. I know I wanted to get that in.
Oh, I've got all sorts of little mini topics. They could be nominations for any of the week, or they're just kind of funny. Well, funny to me, not to the people that's happening to. So
it's the definition.
There you go. Just a couple of things just to throw out, right? Like it's been really busy in sports, and this is the kind of stuff we love about sports, right? Because it's just like what are you doing? Did you hear about the assistant coach from Tennessee getting fired?
No.
Okay. Kevin Steele was fired in March. He is going to be paid his severance of $860,000 because he has 2 years left on his contract. The reason he has 2 years left on his contract is because he was hired in January and fired in March. So they hired him on January 12th on a 2-year deal as a defensive assistant to the head coach, right? So this guy's just an assistant to the head coach. They hired him on January 12th. Congratulations. Welcome to the team. 6 days later, they fired the head coach. Turns out the head coach may have into sweeping recruiting malfeasance. Which, tell you what, if they're using the word malfeasance, you're in trouble, right?
Did he by any chance go to the Sean Miller School of Recruiting?
No. Because like malfeasance. That's nowhere near like Sean
He's
Miller
not.
level of recruiting is like that's a doctorate level. Malfeasance. This is like you're getting like an associate's degree in recruiting problems. So this guy gets hired. This guy gets hired by the head coach. 6 days later, the head coach gets fired on January. Oh, and then the athletic director also leaves after the football coach leaves. So 3 days later, a new AD is hired. 6 days after that, a new football coach is hired. And from January 27th until March 5th, so whatever that is, 6 weeks later, the new football coach goes, I don't want this guy. And he's out after spending less than 2 months on a 2-year contract. So now they have to pay them the rest of his contract. The thing about it is, and this is,
I mean, at least I figured he did something. I figured maybe he was in the Les Miles School of Undergraduate Relations.
Ooh. No, actually, in this
No?
case, this is actually a football coach, at least for this. Like, all he did was, hey, do you want a job? Sure.
Sure, I'll move my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 6 weeks later, or 6 days later, the guy that hired you, fired. His boss, gone. Hey, honey, don't unpack the boxes.
Don't get comfortable.
Anyway, the funny thing, of course, is that so now people are questioning, why did you guys hire another football coach? Why did you hire an assistant coach for a guy that you fired 6 days later? And according to the UT system president, I don't think at the time when he was hired that we knew that this was going to happen. So if you buy that, they hired a guy and did a full investigation and decided to fire a football coach in 5 days. Anyway.
It's like the line from When Harry Met Sally about the guy that answers the door has a T-shirt on that says "Don't mess with Mr. Zero," and he gets the divorce papers. So Mr. Zero knew. Mr. Zero knew I was getting a divorce before I did. Trust me, somebody knew 5 days prior.
Yeah,
probably Mr. Zero knew 5 days prior that somebody was losing his job.
Okay, so there's that. Let's see what else have we got. Oh, hey, this is good. The Tennessee Titans, they're in last year's draft, like 11 months ago, I think they picked 29th overall. So they got the 29th pick of the draft, first round, right? They just traded him a couple days ago. They traded their first round pick from last year. Do you know what they got for a first round pick 1 season later?
A third round and a fifth round?
No, they sent this guy and a 7th round pick to get in return a 7th round pick.
Wait, what? So they're trading 7th round picks.
Yeah, I think the Titans like bump up like 5 spots in the 7th round. Apparently they wanted to get rid of this guy. He didn't work out for reasons, whatever. So yeah, they sent Isaiah Wilson and a 7th round pick to the Miami Dolphins, and he got in return a 7th round pick. That's not a good look for your that's not a good look for you. That's not good.
Here's how much we don't like you. We're going to pay you to not be here. Yeah.
Yep.
We think someone who we don't even have the foggiest idea who it is yet is going to be a better fit on our team than you.
Well, technically, because they sent a 7th round pick there and got one in return, what they're literally saying is, if we don't fill your spot, we still feel better about where we're at than if you're here. We would rather have nobody. I think he's an offensive lineman. We would rather have nobody blocking than you. So anyway, he's had a bad day.
I've watched the films. When he was in, they did have nobody blocking.
Oh, you know what? That's what this is coming down to. Is this isn't like idiot of the week. This is just like people who've had a bad week. Right?
Oh,
Like
okay.
that's kind of what this. Now that I realize, right? So Tennessee, you got to pay a coach. That you got to pay a coach for 2 years, or you get him for 2 months. You're having a bad week. Isaiah Wilson, you're having a bad week. Did you see that former Major League Baseball star Johnny Damon was arrested for DUI?
His BAC was at like almost 3.
Yeah. So he claimed on the body camera when he was pulled over, he said to the officers who were originally going to administer the field sobriety test that the only reason that he was pulled over is because of which politician he supported. And they said, no, that has nothing to do with this. And then his wife also made the same allegations. And then he couldn't complete the field sobriety test because he couldn't pass the test. And so anyway, yes, he says, I know people are trying to target me because I'm a blank supporter. The police officer says, yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with it. And yes, he reportedly his blood alcohol content was 0.3. And the legal limit there is 0.08. So I mean the good news is he was way above average, right? So anyway, he's having a bad week.
It's the first time in years he's been above 250 on anything.
Oh God. Jeez. Oh yeah. I would say the only person in the car that was having a worse week than him was his wife. He was charged with resisting an officer without violence and cited for driving under the influence of alcohol and running a stop sign. His wife was arrested and charged with battery of an officer and resisting arrest. So anyway, the Damon household is had a bad week as well. I don't know. I'm not celebrating that somebody got arrested or whatever. I'm like, you're only arresting me because of who I voted for. Like, trust me, that has nothing to do with it. You're 4 times over the limit, dude. But the last one I have, and again, this is all sports related. Sorry. This one is breaking news. I'm hoping you haven't seen this.
Okay.
Can you tell me, as of now, what the full name of the Michigan State basketball team is?
They just got beat by Maryland. Their name is Mud.
Oh, this is going to get better than that. I mean, that's a good joke. I like that joke. Don't get me wrong. But this is on a whole other level, right? So let me spot you a couple of things here. I'm going to make this easy on you to set you up to fail, right? Which is what I do.
I've played this game before with NBC Sports, but go ahead. Yes.
So it's the Iowa Hawkeyes, right? It's the Minnesota Golden Gophers, right? It's the Michigan Wolverines, and it's the Michigan State
Spartans.
Yeah, see, that's where you're wrong. They announced today that from now on, at least within their arena, they are going to be known throughout the arena as MSU Spartans presented by Rocket Mortgage. The basketball team of a public school sold their naming rights, not to the arena, not to the court, but literally to the team. Here come the fighting Rocket Mortgages.
What?
Yep. According to Tom Izzo, Rocket Mortgage has been a valued partner for years with Michigan State, and we are excited that they are continuing to support our program into the future. As presenting sponsor of our season, their presence will be an asset as we compete for championships. So,
Next,
well, not this year. Yeah.
starting next year.
Starting next year. Yeah, not this year. This year we just blew. It's no good. But anyway, I'm just thinking. I'm wondering if if this sponsorship deal includes redoing and making their scoreboards significantly bigger, because it used to just have to say like Spartans and Hawkeyes. Now it needs to say MSU Spartans presented by Rocket Mortgage versus Hawkeyes. On a totally unrelated note, when can this become Talking to Todd presented by Rocket Mortgage?
I work for a competitor. The answer to that is never.
Okay, you know what? I'm not picky on that. And here's the thing. We have as much chance as winning a championship this year as Michigan State does, so I think we're worthy.
Here's the thing, though. This week's show is brought to you by DJ To Go, your 5-star DJ for the Cedar Valley region.
I enjoyed that trip to the Money Zone. Big Dog Rough 2020 Todd Prince here. Okay, sorry. We're going to get sued. Okay, anyway.
None of that's making it in. But if Lucas listened to this show, he would really enjoy that.
Yeah, we're just doing custom programming, one-offs for every individual. So what are you watching this week?
We finished the Marvel movies except for Spider-Man Far From Home, which we saw last year when we were in London.
2 years ago. It's fine. Everybody just forgets last year. Like you just zoom right over, whoosh, right over it. So yes, 2 years ago.
Which we saw when we were in London. Is that better?
Yeah, just leave it at that. Yeah.
Just leave it at that. Yeah, back when we were in London, we saw that movie. So it's only available on Stars. I don't have a subscription to Stars.
Nobody does.
So no,
please go ahead.
I can buy it for $14.99 on Google, or I can sign up for a 6-month subscription to Stars for $2 a month. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. At some point, we'll watch that one. But as we got further and further into the Marvel movies and got to the ones that are more recent, we had seen those fewer times. So there were more things that you catch on rewatching.
Yeah.
And lines that were funny originally, you find are still funny, or oh yeah, that didn't hold up as well, or what. But the Spider-Man comments about this really old movie. Have you seen this really old? You remember this really old movie, Empire Strikes Back? Yeah. Still makes Amy laugh out loud. So we finished those up, and then we're really kind of in between stuff. We are watching season 8 of RuPaul's Drag Race right now, which is kind of entertaining. And then we watched the pilot episode of Spin City.
Okay. Yep. With Michael J. Fox?
It is.
And yep. Barry Bostwick? Brett, whatever. I don't know. Sure. Isn't he the coach of Illinois now? Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, please.
Connie Britton.
Yep.
Alan Ruck.
Oh, hey, there's some people in that show.
Right? Yeah. Carla Gugino played his girlfriend in the first season.
Okay.
Richard Kind was the press secretary.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right? All of Spin City is on Pluto. You can watch it with ads.
Where do you find you're making fun of Stars and you're watching something on Pluto? Like, I don't. What the? That doesn't even sound right.
The mayor is a bumbling idiot. That's the way he was. He just kind of bumbled his way through the entire series. But
and it's cute when you're the mayor, but not when you're the president. Anyway, sorry.
We watched Spin City. There are just a ton of people in Spin City and enjoyed that. I don't know that I'm going to watch very many more because much like Pop TV, the commercials drove me crazy. So anyway, yeah, Spin City. Catch it. It's fantastic. Oh, wait, no, we can't say that. What are you guys watching this week?
So something weird happened this week. Didn't mean for it to happen, but so we find ourselves watching more YouTube than we expect. And the algorithm. A while ago I mentioned how the algorithm was giving me some really weird stuff, and I kept trying to edit it. Eventually, the algorithm starts serving up some things to you that you're like, actually, I would be interested in watching that. So if you take sort of, I like watching like engineering shows, and as you know, we're partial to England and London, and it basically said like, hey, would you like to know about things that people don't know about the London Underground? And we're like, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, we've ridden it. It sounds interesting. We watch the guy and go, boy, he's pretty interesting. What else has he got? So we've been watching a lot of videos about trains in England. A lot. A lot. And what's interesting about this is the guy, we've watched a couple of them. There is a guy that we like. He is so into like he knows where all of the train, like he knows where not all the trains go now. He knows where the trains used to go. Like there used to be rails here, which is why there's an arch in this bridge, because there used to be a train line from here from 1929 to 1931, but then they realigned it. And you think, what? The fact that he is as into it as he is actually makes it like, Lisa and I sit there and go, I kind of wish I had something that I was as into as this guy is about English, the underground, trains, etc. Including him and his wife in 2017 shot a documentary. I think it's on YouTube. We haven't watched it yet. They went to all 2,000 plus overground train stations in Britain. Yep. Also, we learned some other things.
Because
Content.
they're there?
Content.
Oh. Thing is, once you get past the first 75 or so, you feel like you really have to collect them all.
Yeah. You're like, well, I made it this far. He's also been to he's obviously he's been to all 272 tube stops. And this wouldn't surprise you, but there's an actual sort of group underground who do unofficial, how quickly can you get to like every stop on one of the underground lines. Yeah, they have all sorts of anyway. It sounds terrible.
He started. He was gonna do it. He was gonna do it in 48 days, but he was in the hospital for a couple of days in the middle there, and then he picked it up again. So the problem was the gap, because what you got to do is you got to mind the gap when you're trying to complete that.
That was a long way for not that great of a joke, if I'm honest.
It was not that great of a joke. You're right.
No, I mean, like the setup, I was like, oh, it's a setup. I wonder where he's.
You would think that train didn't go there, but it did.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah.
It kind of went off the rails. I was just chugging along. I think I can. I didn't.
Is this thing ever going to run out of steam? By the way, the guy's name, I'm just going to talk now at this point. I gave you your time. Now I'm moving on. The guy's name is Jeff Marshall, Jeoff. Jeff Marshall on YouTube. Again.
Sorry. Wait. Jeoff?
G.
Okay. I'm like,
oh my God, we're the outtakes. So the guy's name. I really thought this was going to be a good one. I really did.
Oh, it is.
right. Before we hit the record button, I had such high hopes for this. Oh, so the guy's name is Jeff Marshall, Geoff Marshall on YouTube. Talks about trains, underground, abandoned tube stations. One of the other things that is just wild about this that Lisa's pointed out. He's talking about, oh, they're building a new stop here, and they're using a tube station that they haven't used in a while. And this being London, they haven't used in a while. In one of the cases, I want to say the building was used for the tube from like 1900 to 1920, and it hasn't been used since.
Wow.
But they didn't sell it. It's just been abandoned for 100 years, and now they go, oh yeah, we got that property, we can use that now. I mean, most stuff, you think about most stuff in your town, it's like, well, it's been there, I don't know. Most sports stadiums don't make it 25 years before they knock them down and ask for more taxpayer funding. And here they're like, oh, we have a perfectly good building we could use. How old is it? Well, it's like 150 years old, but we haven't used it in 100 years, so we should be good.
As dense as everything is in London anyway, it's amazing that they haven't knocked it down and done something else.
Yeah, because some of that would probably be pretty valuable property.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So that's kind of surprising.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. Trains. Jeff Marshall. Jeff with a G.
No space.
Oh, that's where the G in the space went. It's in Jeff's name.
Mind the gap.
So what'd you learn this week?
Shots. Sorry. I turned 50 in January, got my annual physical. And as a part of that, I am not in any of the categories where I could get my COVID vaccine.
Except you're old.
Well, but I'm not old enough. I'm old, but thanks, man.
I got 2 more months. I got 2 more months I can run with this. So I gotta make hay while I can, because I mean, normally we're either together. For a couple of months I'm a little behind on the second number, but now I'm on the first number. So this doesn't happen much.
You're still in your 40s. You're just a young pup. What the hell do you know?
Oh yeah. I'm in a completely different demographic at this point. I don't even understand your generation. And all the Spin City stuff that you guys watch. I mean, you should be like us, the youngs, and on YouTube.
Damn millennials.
So
you're supposed to respond with "Okay, Boomer."
That's right. Oh, yeah. Okay, Boomer.
Instead of getting my COVID vaccine, I got the first round of the shingle shot, and I got a tetanus booster. And I got them at the same time, one in my left arm and one in my right, on Monday morning.
Okay.
I do not recommend this. What did I learn this week? I do not recommend this. It was...
Hey, can somebody hit the elevator button for me?
I couldn't raise my arms. Oh, no, that's not true. I hydrated beforehand, which I thought would be helpful. And it was also 70 degrees on Monday. So I took the afternoon off from work and I played the first round of golf for the year. My first round of golf for the year. Hadn't touched my clubs in 4 months. So I got a shot in each arm and then played 18 holes of golf.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to let you continue with your story. I have some notes, but feel free.
Again, I can't state this clearly enough. I do not recommend this. If you know John Brown and you're friends with him on Facebook, you know the struggle that he had with shingles over the summer. If you're over 50 and you can get the shingle shot or go get the shingle shot, you don't want to go through what John had to go through this summer. So I got the shingle shot, but man, is it painful. My arm is still sore now 3.5 days later, but still better than what John had to go through actually dealing with shingles. And my grandmother dealt with anyway, shingles are no fun. The nurse in the left arm and the lab tech in the right arm, and the lab tech was giving me the tetanus shot, and she says, "This is the mean one." That woman lies. Do not trust the lab tech at the Norwalk Health Center. I'm just saying. Shots.
So just two follow-ups.
Yes.
Number one, that story didn't go where I thought it was going to go, partially because in my state, you could get the vaccine shot, but I can't. So, anyway.
What?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
I could.
You could.
But you can't.
But I can't. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Millennials.
I know, right? Just ruining for everybody. I mean, I could have got on my electric scooter and then just scooted right over and gotten it. But I have to do my part and wait for people of a certain age like you to get theirs out of the way first. So, but the second piece is that story isn't great, but I'm going to tell you it could have been significantly worse for you. Do you want to guess how?
I can't wait to hear.
You got a shingle shot and a tetanus shot, and then you went and picked up your clubs you hadn't touched in 4 months and played 18. Had you shot, let's say, a 68, you would have said, "Oh dear, before every round from now on, this is going to hurt so bad, and I don't need any of it." But every round of golf, you're going to be like, I'm going to need some shots in both arms. You don't need it. Oh, I do. Oh, that 68 was great.
What'd you learn this week?
So, there's been so much talk about RuPaul on this podcast that Lisa and I thought, hey, we're hearing good things. Maybe we should give it a try. No, not really.
This is your fault.
Oh, that's right. Wait, that came from us. So,
Yes.
So we were caught up in the current season, and Lisa says, I want to go back. Like, she wasn't getting enough RuPaul, so she's like, I want to go back and watch one of the previous seasons, just an episode or two. She wanted to go check something out. I think she wanted to go back one season. And so she's like, where do I go see that? Because that's the way TV works now. Like, I have no earthly idea. There's 100 different apps on our Apple TV, including Apple TV, and on the Roku, and I don't know. So I went to where I thought I could get it, because you were watching your seasons of RuPaul. You started watching them on CBS Partial Access, which is now changed to Paramount Plus, right? That's where you guys are watching?
It is.
Okay. So I went into CBS Partial Access, and it wasn't there. And I thought, the heck's going on? So here's what I found. And this sums up everything you need to know about the state of TV and apps. If you want to watch RuPaul's Drag Race seasons 1 through 10, you need to go into now Paramount Plus. Okay?
Yeah.
If you want to watch seasons 12 and 13, 13's the current one, but if you want to watch season 12, that isn't on Paramount Plus. You need to go and watch that on VH1's app.
Can you watch 11 at all?
The only place to watch 11 is to buy it from iTunes. It isn't on any streaming service. Or none of them. Let me put it this way. It doesn't seem to be on any streaming service that we pay for, and we pay for all of them. So I'm just assuming, unless it's on IMDb TV, it's impossible. You have to pay for it. So anyway, that's what I learned this week is where do you want to watch RuPaul? Well, you got to tell me the season, and you got to tell me which TV packages you subscribe to. And you got to tell me, can I have your Amex number? Because this is going to take me a while. And Lisa wasn't thrilled with that answer when I had to do a whole bunch of research. She's like, I just want to watch an episode of this.
Did you try on Peacock? Because I got an email this week from Peacock.
No, I don't. If it's not soccer, I don't. If it's not soccer, I don't look for it on Peacock. What email did you get from them this week?
So the email I got, the subject line was Tired of looking at your family?
Okay,
What?
I'm intrigued.
Okay,
Do
I'm
tell.
intrigued. I'll click on that. Tired of looking at your family? Stream a new one. Laugh more with the family and upgrade to stream all 10 seasons of Modern Family. But apparently Peacock is taking tips from CBS Partial Access, because unless you upgrade to Peacock Premium with an all access pass, you get full seasons, every movie, episode, and seriously,
So wait, what? So what do you get if you don't pay them?
you get some Peacock, but not the full Peacock. The other ads. One is for Keeping Up with the Ardashians. Oh wait, hold on. There's a big, huge K, and all of the women are divided. But it looks like it says Keeping Up with the Ardashians. I suppose if I kept up more, I would know that they aren't called the Ardashians. But I thought it was, and you can get OMG moments, whatever the hell those are. But I thought that was some interesting marketing. Tired of looking at your family? Yes, by golly, I am.
I'm just sitting here because I was trying to find that, because I get lots of email from Peacock, and I at some point I saw that same one, the one I've just pulled up now because there's so much of it. This one is also Modern Family, okay, and then I streamed down, and tying this back to the beginning of some of your discussion here, one of the Peacock picks for you is Mr. Mayor, starring Ted Danson as the bumbling, fumbling mayor, and I thought, hey, wait. I mean, I've seen the ads for this, but I'm like, I knew it felt familiar before. You know what this is? It's Spin City in LA. Spin City : LA. NCI, like CSI New York, CSI
Yes.
Miami, CSI
Yes.
Des Moines. This is Spin City, LA.
NCIS New Orleans, NCIS Los Angeles.
Yeah. So
NCIS Red Dead Redemption. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I don't even know how we got here. Here's the thing. I was a little concerned when you sent me that original email, because when you see the first line from Peacock that says, tired of watching your family, you can watch another family, my thought was, are they doing like an OnlyFans kind of thing through Peacock? Because that is not what I signed up for. And another question, do they know that I'm watching them? Because, hey, wait, are you watching me? Anyway, like what, when I installed this app, what did I give him permission to do? Did I read the privacy policy?
Bluetooth access to all your devices.
Sure. Why not?
Oh, sure. Hey, why not?
Oh yeah. Todd warned me about that.
The music is Happy Boy by Kevin MacLeod. It's available on incompetech.com under a Creative Commons Attribution license. You can subscribe to Talking to Todd on Overcast or Apple Podcasts or anywhere else that you get your pods. Just search Talkin' and the number 2, no G, no space. You can like our page on Facebook. You can check out our award-winning merch on Zazzle. This week's Zazzle code, we haven't done this in a while, but this week's Zazzle code really jumped out at me. They've got all these new car accessories, including you can design your own license plate cover.
Okay.
And you can get 40% off if you use the code Zaz Goes Vroom. Z-A-Z Goes Vroom.
You know what? I'm going to tell you, it wouldn't surprise me if I get an email from Peacock next week saying our newest show is called Zaz Goes Vroom. Watch it right after Mr. Mayor. I mean, Spin City, LA.
You can send us a tweet at Talking to Todd. You can leave us a voicemail at 515 also CPA. You can stop by and visit us at the Tuba City home office. Thanks again to our listeners. Please tell your friends. And as always, send your feedback to feedback@talkingtotodd.com. Todd?
This is one that we couldn't quite fit in the 3 hours of content we had. One more question for you though that you probably won't get the answer to. The NFL currently has 31 players making more than $20 million. Okay. 10% of those players are on a single team. Can you name the team? Which admittedly is 3 of them, but it's 10%. Like it's 31 players, right? There's 32 teams. 31 players make more than 20 million, but 10% of all of those players are on a single team. Can you name the team?
Dallas Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? You got
I
one.
got one right.
And on that, we've been talking to Todd. I know that's normally your line, but I wanted to give you a Costanza moment.
And outtakes. What's the line from When Harry Met Sally? What's the line from When? Yes, from When Harry Met Sally. Yes, that's the movie.
Yeah,
of course it is.
See, that's exactly what I was talking about. Also, speaking with sports. Okay. Also, keeping with sports. Jeez. We're here in hour 7 of recording and starting to get a little punch drunk.